Hi everyone, I'm so excited to bring you along for our trip to Austin, and I thought that I would take you along first for a little pre-trip content and show you what I'm doing to prep. I'm leaving today, but finishing up packing. This is what things are looking like. I'm trying to get everything in a carry-on because I hate waiting for checked luggage and I hate getting to the airport earlier to check a bag if I don't have to, but we're filling up very quickly. This is what it's looking like for clothes. I actually went shopping yesterday with my foster puppy, taking him for a little socialization. And I don't really know what I ended up buying or packing, a little bit of everything. So hopefully I have some things that work. And then of course the dog stuff is taking over. We have things to film, food, treats, lots of accessories. Some of them still even wrapped because I haven't decided which ones we're gonna use and which will be going back. A bin of sunglasses because I need some for me and the dogs, tripod, just a little bit of everything, and still more that I have to grab. When I go on these types of trips, I have to bring a lot of stuff usually because I need stuff for the trip itself, and then for filming while we're on the trip. We are working with the hotel that we're staying at, so have to get some different content there. And then we're going to an event, so content and accessories and things for that. And then I also, sorry, that car going by thinks they're a big shot. Ignore that. Then I also have to bring stuff for just kind of my usual content and other brand commitments with me because work never stops. And I like to just be able to get some different, unique content for you guys in different settings and new places. So lots of props and things to film with and dog accessories and 8 million beaded collars and things like that. I know that half of it I probably won't even end up using, but it's always good to have some options. Also, just a crazy dog mom that always worries that my dogs need 8 million options. So when I'm traveling with dogs, I have to bring like a couple different foods. I know that sometimes they might be pickier if they're not at home, or different treats, just to be prepared for all scenarios. I want them to be as comfortable as possible. I don't know what else I need to grab. I know I'm forgetting things. Finished up work stuff just in time to head off to the airport for our little weekend away. Super excited, gotta stay hydrated, and then dove into getting a bunch of work done because I know it's gonna be a super busy weekend. Arrived to Austin and forgot that they made you really hike to the Uber section, but we made it. Little preview of the room, but full room tour to come. We literally just got in, so I'm not looking my best, but there is an event downstairs that is dog friendly, so have to go check it out. Come along with us to Martinis and Weenies, a fun little dog-friendly event that we went to in Austin. Everyone needs to get on this guy's level, honestly. He was having the best time and set the best tone for the night. Of course, right away we had to head over to the Pup Cup X Tito's bar. Georgia was super excited. She loves a pup cup and actually doesn't get them super often, so this was a special treat. Bartender forgot her biscuit on top, so had to quickly take that back to fix it. And honestly, I think Georgia would have been fine if we stopped the night there and just stayed there getting pup cup refills all night. But we didn't. We headed around. Oh my gosh, wait, little whipped cream shot. They had music and all sorts of adorable pups in costume. And this whole event was donating some proceeds to Austin Pets Alive, which is a rescue in Texas. And you can't have martinis and weenies without some martinis. So this was the bar, of course distracted always by the cute pups. As always, Georgia makes friends wherever she goes, but after that we headed outside. These were the hot dogs they had, little model girl, and then we were pretty tired, so it was time to head back to the room, but this was a great event. We are off to the event. The girls are ready. We are headed off to the Pink Puppy Club, aka the most fabulous dog event hosted by our friend Jill, who owns Woof and Work, a co-working space and doggy daycare in Austin, Texas. We started off walking the pink carpet with some friends before heading inside. And I don't even know where to start, honestly. Everything was fabulous, from the people to the dogs, the decor. Got to meet up with some friends and meet some really cute pups. Like, this was my wildest girly pink loving dreams come true. And then you just add dogs to that. Like, what could be better? Everywhere I looked, it was just more and more cuties in the most fabulous outfits. I couldn't get enough of this. There was also a bunch of really cool vendors there with different dog products that we got to see and meet with. Truly, there was a little bit of everything, something for everyone. My little queen Josie was here for the pup cups. She said, "Yes, ma'am, I will take 7 more of those, please." And if you ask me, the very best part of this whole event was that it was to fundraise for a wonderful bully breed rescue, Lovable. Got to meet a bunch of their adoptable dogs who were just the sweetest and so well-mannered at a busy event. Also, I have to give a huge shout out to the volunteers / foster parents for these dogs, because they were such amazing advocates for them and so informative. Definitely check them out. And although a lot of this event was centered around the fabulous dogs, they definitely took care of us humans too, with snacks, drinks, and more. We spent a bunch of time hanging in the fabulous VIP lounge. Georgia declared herself president of the VIP lounge. You'll see later. I am already counting down for the next event, because just look at this. What more could you want? Georgia did some modeling, got some professional photos done. There was a raffle with lots of awesome prizes. And like I said before, the money was going to benefit Lovable Rescue, which was great. And then here's my girl being the star of the show, taking over the VIP lounge. Clearly, she could not have been more comfortable or more at home. By the end of the day, the dogs were definitely starting to full-on crash. Thank you so much, Jill, for such an amazing, amazing day. After packing up from Super Zoo in Vegas this year, we hit the road and headed off to Utah. It's really so crazy how life all comes together sometimes. We met Jed and Alicia online, as they are fellow content creators and bully breed lovers. And back in March at another pet event, we had chatted with them all about where they're from, what they like to do, and where they live. And we said that we would love to come see it ourselves in person and come visit. I feel like so many times you make plans like that and you say you're going to do it, but it doesn't actually happen. But this time we really did it. We arrived to our hotel and we went to get a little bite to eat and walked around, did a bit of shopping at this cute little antique store and consignment store. We actually had sat down with them at Super Zoo and planned out a bunch of must-see fun activities. So this was kind of our chill afternoon getting in, but then we had a lot packed in, and they were the absolute best hosts and tour guides. And after a bunch of strolling around and seeing everything, we headed back to the hotel, and we kind of absolutely crashed because Super Zoo is a long, busy week, sometimes 12-hour days, go, go, go. So this was a really great little bit of a reset to relax. We would actually love to go again, though. Not
after such a crazy week to be able to enjoy it with our fully charged batteries. But our room was great, filled with dog things. As you'll see later, we did some rescue work, but this is us headed to dinner. Of course, my dog person hat for our dog person hangout. And first they took us to Swig, which my mom was super excited about. She's been dying to try it. They do these dirty sodas. They are massive, and we did very quickly become fans. My mom has literally been counting down the days for this. This is her one big thing she wanted to do in Utah, and I have to say it was a hit. And then all of the content creators that are so often behind the camera, getting in front of the camera. And we headed to dinner to get some pizza. The views were great everywhere. This is so different from where we live, kind of completely opposite climate and completely opposite scenery. It was beautiful. We headed over to do a little walking around. And pro tip, make friends with other content creators because then they can get footage of you. We had fabulous videographers. This was all really so beautiful. Not included, my mom went through this little spot called The Crack, and it's like 12 inches wide. She squeezed in somehow and walked all the way through. Was super proud of her. And then we absolutely crashed. So this is the next day. Went to get some breakfast. There were way too many good choices on the menu. We had trouble decided, but we had to try a little bit of everything. And then this was super cool. We collected all of these donations from some amazing brands at Super Zoo that knew we were going to do some rescue visits on the rest of our trip. And they were so generous. And Alicia and Jed took us to a bunch of organizations that they know about. We got to meet some of the animals. This pup was super sweet. He mostly wanted to be Jed's best friend, but we did get some love ourselves. We regularly ship donations all over the U.S. to different rescues, shelters, fosters, etc. But it's always really cool to be able to actually go in person and see where those donations are going and meet the animals that are benefiting from them. Also, they took a bunch of the donations that we divided up to some other organizations that weren't open that day, etc., so that they could get used best as possible. I think that it was over 9 different organizations in the end that all of them went to, and we actually also shipped some of them to an organization in Texas and to some animals in need in Miami, Florida. So all over. This was amazing. This is a dog that they actually helped to trap that was out roaming around, and they were able to trap him, and now he's in a foster home working on getting better. He was a little nervous, so we gave him his space, which is totally fine and understandable with what he went through. Yeah, we had the absolute best time. Of course, never enough time, so hopefully we will head back soon, but we are off to our next stop, which is Best Friend's Animal Sanctuary. Stay tuned for a video on that. We're headed to San Diego, off to visit my sister, who I am super close with and lives in San Diego. I have landed in San Diego. Boy, that was a long day. Wasn't too bad, but I had a lot of editing planned to get done on the long flight, and the Wi-Fi was super spotty. And I had this one video for our hotel stay to edit, and I had way too many clips that I couldn't pick between what I wanted to add. And so basically that's the only video that I ended up editing. So lots to do tonight. I will be staying up late. But other than that, very excited to go see my sister. Other than not super productive, not a bad travel day, she made me some crispy rice for dinner, which I love, and I got to rate her skincare and got to some of that editing.
Out for our first official night out. Last night we stayed in and cooked. What do you want to say, Jill?
Hello, I don't know what to say.
She took me over to the Hotel Lafayette for some hanging at the pool and drinks. We've been dying to go here together, but we always seem to forget or get busy. It was beautiful. So many different rooms with different styles, super extravagant and maximalist. I loved it. And then popped over to get some dinner. After dinner and a great dessert, we headed over to check out this cool little spot. Hung out there for a bit before heading home, changing into PJs and watching old childhood TV shows. And then we crashed, so flash forward to the next day.
Day 2, we are headed to the zoo today. I have never been. Jill, my sister, has been a few times, but very excited to go enjoy the beautiful weather and see some animals.
I think it's really important to acknowledge with the zoo that obviously animals do not belong in cages, and ideally these animals would not live at the zoo. They belong out in the wild, but unfortunately, due to issues with the climate, poaching, hunting, etc., a lot of these animals are endangered or threatened. And I do think that the San Diego Zoo does a really great job caring for them and working to educate the public so that we can do better by these animals. And I think that sometimes people have to see animals like this in order to feel something and to want to save them, which is unfortunate, but how it is. They have some amazing breeding programs for animals that were facing extinction and have really brought back populations, which is amazing. It was really incredible to hear about so many different animals and their unique stories. I think if I had to pick a favorite, it might be the hippos. I was obsessed. I don't know how they move their bodies. Love them. They also recently got pandas back. They were gone for a bit and now they have 2 of them. And then overall just did a bunch more exploring. There was so much to see. I don't even know what my step count was. Shout out to the volunteers and staff at this zoo because they were so informative and so helpful. We really did learn a lot. And then I may have lied about my favorite thing. I don't know, they might be tied. But we also got to see a baby giraffe that was just born 5 weeks ago. He was the cutest thing ever. So that was a huge highlight as well. And then after dinner, we went to this outdoor mall, grabbed some dinner, did a little shopping and some of our favorite dessert to take home. And now we're on to a new day, headed to Trader Joe's, which is one of my very favorite places to get a bunch of food to take to the beach with us. Shout out to my sister. This was a fabulous idea. And then we made our way to the dog beach. The dog beach is incredible. You will see basically every breed of dog. I truly think I could take one of those big dog breed books that I used to read as a kid and check out from the library, and you could probably check off most of the breeds. Hairless dogs, long-haired dogs, short dogs, tall dogs, massive dogs that are like bigger than me, to little teeny tiny dogs. And they're not all besties, but somehow they all coexist so beautifully here together. Also, some of these dogs are so incredibly athletic. Boy, was I impressed. Swimming in deep water with a strong current that I personally would struggle in. Also, if you hear snoring in this voiceover, it's Polo next to me. But anyways, then one of the highlights of the dog beach was seeing this woman that comes every day. I will leave her handle in the description below, but she has 10 chihuahuas, I believe, or 11, and this beagle, and they all love to go surfing. You can see them literally chasing her to go surfing. And of course, everyone is taking videos, and the other dogs are like, what are they doing? But it's the cutest thing, and they were so amazing and talented. But basically, we spent all day there before driving home exhausted, and then I didn't really get any footage except of our takeout meal because we were too tired to go out. And then my last day there was kind of just a half day. Me and my sister both spent it working, but then we took a break to go on a little walk together, and she showed me around. Such a pretty area, and the weather was absolutely beautiful. So we did a little loop, actually did a bit of a longer loop, and then had to rush back because my sister had a call to get to. And then later on, she drove me to the airport and we said our goodbyes because it was time for me to head off on my next adventure to Las Vegas. So stay tuned for that vlog.
Good morning. We are headed on a trip today. I tinted my eyebrows last night, so they're looking kind of dark right now without makeup. Hair has not been done, so it's looking a little crazy. And very, very late last night, I self-tanned. So even though I'm not looking super, super dark, I'm going to go wash that up and then we'll catch up when I get back. Didn't wash my hair because I just did that last night, but all clean, time to get dressed. Just threw this on for while I'm packing and cleaning in case I get myself all a mess. But my face, you can really tell on camera, my face is very light compared to my body now. So I'm going to just very quickly, just quickly add a little self-tanner on like the perimeter of my face. And it's not gonna get to sit for anywhere near the length of time. I'm probably gonna leave this on for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, but just to give a little bit of a warming up. And just doing it, like I said, it's gonna look really crazy right now, but I promise it will look a lot more natural when I wash it off. But just doing kind of the parts of my face where usually I would bronze. Looking a little crazy, so now I'm going to go put away some laundry, maybe see if I have any dishes to run in the dishwasher, kind of that level of stuff, and then I'll come back to start packing. Clean laundry basket has now overflowed into my blanket basket. I've realized that I didn't even say where I was going, so I am headed to Kentucky. One of my friends from high school is getting married, so going there for her wedding and kind of making it into a little bit of a trip. We have a family friend out there as well that we're gonna see, and not really sure what else. Maybe something dog related. Stay tuned. I know that most of the people here love to see dog things. I have known about this wedding for a very long time now, and yet still a lot of it ended up being pretty last minute planning, I would say, just because life's been crazy and that's what happens. We were kind of trying to decide if we wanted to make it into a bigger trip, going back and forth with things like that. My mom is coming as well. It was really cute. My friend invited my mom. I always joked that she was just friends with me to hang out with my mom. So she's coming with me. I won't really know a lot of people there because probably most of it is going to be her friends and family since she has moved. She was originally from New England like me, and she moved there. So that will be interesting. Maybe we'll meet some new people. All of this was leaking out of my foundation, which is not a great sign before traveling. I do not want this all over my bag. But anyways, so I'll have her with me, which is good to at least kind of have one person to do things with. We're both coming from different places since we don't live together. So we will be meeting up in Kentucky, or actually meeting up in Cincinnati, I think. When I went to visit my friend in Kentucky in college, she told me that it can be a lot easier to fly into the Cincinnati airport because I guess it's not super far and it's like a larger airport, so flights are usually more frequent, or getting a direct flight, and they're usually cheaper. So gonna do that, rent a car. Dresses was something that I really put off. For someone that loves like a glamorous dress moment, I don't know why I'm so bad about this. I think just going somewhere where I don't know a lot of people, I don't really know what the vibe will be. Like, it's a wedding, but like I don't really know the type of people that are going, or like how they dress, or what their style will be. And so I put that off, got a bunch of dresses last night at like 7 o'clock at night, and we're going to just make one of them work. A lot of them that came in were complete duds. Like, I don't know what happened. Those things you see about like what I bought versus what came, I feel like that happened to me. This is a November wedding. It's not gonna be very warm, and like one of the dresses looks like sunset, like all sunset colors. One has like neon orange flowers, giving very summer, not winter Kentucky wedding at all, and that is not what I ordered. So didn't have the best luck, but I think that we have one or two options. I still haven't decided which dress. Maybe we'll do that together, do a little try on. I don't think I have a weekend of downtime this whole month almost. Last weekend, I was in West Palm visiting a friend. This weekend, the wedding. And then next weekend, we have a little trip to Austin to celebrate Polo. Polo will not be coming, unfortunately, because a hike from where we are, like probably 20-plus-hour drive, which we're not gonna put anyone through for just a little weekend. But you'll see it's going to tie in of celebrating and honoring Polo and doing lots of fun dog stuff. Finished with some makeup and hair. Now I need to pack up my makeup so that I do not forget that, especially when we have a wedding to go to. Gotta look good. I actually might need to see about packing some other like more glam makeup, or maybe some lashes. I hope I have some. I actually didn't completely finish unpacking from my last trip, which was only a few days ago. A lot of this honestly will be staying, like toiletries and things, so that's kind of why. But going to finish unpacking everything that I don't need first. I need a little break from running around. I didn't get enough sleep for this. So I'm actually going to sit and edit what I have done so far. That someone asked me about making a video with is making content in real time and like getting it out quickly. And that's something that I definitely struggle with and has been a huge learning curve. I still have videos from months ago that are not edited and not up. But one thing that I found that really helps is to kind of edit as I go if possible. And like the sooner that I do it and the more fresh it is on my mind, the better. Versus if I wait a while, I'm just kind of like distanced from that and not really in the mood of seeing the vision of how I thought it would turn out when I filmed it. So going to try to work on getting started editing this video we are watching right now. And then once I have that edited, the most satisfying part, deleting all of those long clips. First, I have a couple boxes of mail that I still need to do things with. So I guess I'm gonna just put that kind of all together. Not really ideal for how I want to leave things, but that's okay. And some of this is returns. Like I ordered probably 7 different dresses and I'll have to return those when I get back. I think I'm gonna bring 2 with me to decide last minute, and then I'll bring the one that I don't wear back and return that. I ordered from Amazon and Revolve, which are both really good and easy with returns. This is the sunset dress I was mentioning, not the colors that it looked like online. Really, really fun for like a summer Miami night, like not really giving a wedding in November in Kentucky. And then just brought the patio furniture in from the balcony. I always do that because Florida weather, you never know. I don't want things blowing away, being crazy, so I always just pop it right inside. Okay, we're starting to get a little more down to the wire. I think that the reason that influencer people are always like, I'm running late, not to say that I'm an influencer, but you know, is because it does take a lot of time when you're like stopping to film steps. But I don't know, I think it's interesting. Makeup going in. I just got this really cute little headband that looks like Georgia, so maybe we'll do a little get ready with me. Hat in case sometimes you gotta be covered. And then for dresses, I think this one's inside out. I'm trying it on. It's like brown one. You'll see, maybe I'll try them on in Kentucky. I'm gonna fold that better in a second actually. Jeans can go in. PJs, these are always like my favorite ones for traveling with little dogs on them. I thought about bringing this like little mini jean skirt with like a big sweater and tall boots. I don't really know if that's like the Kentucky vibe. Maybe I'll think on that. I have these little like black easy, they got a little squish in my suitcase, but they'll come back to life. These little black chunky boots. We'll squeeze those in somewhere. And my other option for a dress, this is also inside out. Oh my gosh, I'm a disaster. Okay, my other option for a dress, this one like looks so weird and low off, but it's like this little maroon number with kind of like a halter neck and that little gold detail. So we'll try that. Plain white tee never does you wrong. I don't even know what I'll wear this for, but I feel like it's just a good option to have. And I got this really cute tote from a small business called Pure Bark. And something that's really cool about it is you can fill it up. Sorry, that's my dryer going. But you can fill it up with donations to your local rescue, and you get a store credit every time you do. So I think that's really cool. You get to give back, maybe clear out some stock of things you already have, and then go get rewarded and buy new stuff. Ooh, I need a black t-shirt too. Has a little dust on it. I feel like maybe not because it's gonna be cold. Okay, coming together very clearly, the suitcase of a dog mom, dog accessories, dog mom toiletry bag, dog headband, but we're getting there. Just realized I forgot shoes for the wedding. That's important. Tripod is packed, so balancing this on a candle, but I think we're ready to go. Uber is ordered, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything that I forgot that I need to do in the next like 3 to 5 minutes before they get here. We made it to Kentucky.
Literally like
Not the most exciting day one because we got here, it was dark, it was late, we were tired, but tomorrow is wedding day. Wait, no, tomorrow is Friday. That is not wedding day.
Ready, set, 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, go. I made a video recently about how Georgia is more aloof and independent, and this pretty much sums it up. I am trying to get her to come up and snuggle with me on the hotel bed, but she's just so happy on the floor. On the floor, right by my bed, versus anywhere else she could be. But just hanging. Hi, pretty girl.
Headed off for our first official day in Kentucky.
See you soon.
I got my mom this Burberry bucket hat a couple years ago for Christmas, and now I very regularly steal it. So pro tip with your gifts. Of course, since we are in horse country, we had to go to the Kentucky Horse Park. This was so much more than what I thought it would be. I kind of thought it was more just walking around, arenas for where they do shows and things. I didn't realize that there were going to be so many horses on site and things that you can do. Maybe that sounds silly. I didn't do a lot of research beforehand. I just heard the name. They had different little movies playing that you could watch, get educated, learn new things. The foliage was so beautiful. I'm sorry, New England, but based off of at least the leaves that had already fallen, I feel like they may have gotten better foliage than New England got this year, which is crazy. It was a bit of an off year for New England. These little mini ponies, oh my God, to die for. We actually used to own miniature horses. I think I've mentioned that before, but need to do a video on them one day. And we have the big barn with all of these gorgeous, gorgeous working breed draft horses. It has been a goal of mine as a horse girl. I used to ride horses. I used to own my own horse and the mini horses. Like I said, I would love to rescue a horse one day and kind of do the more chill side of things. I used to show and compete and all of that. But I would love to rescue a retired draft horse and just enjoy them and love on them and groom them and let them live out their best lives. This guy here was being a little goofball. Of course, I had to go and stop at every single stall and say hi if they were up for saying hi, but I at least had to look at them, talk to them, and then if they were up for some pets or some scratches, do that. They had a little presentation on draft horses, and this guy learned some new things. Next up was the Hall of Champions, which is where a bunch of retired champions basically live for all different disciplines, all different types of showing, not just race horses. This horse, Western Dreamer, is the oldest horse on the property at 31 years old. But hey, I don't think he looks a day over 28. After the Hall of Champions, we went over to the breeds barn where they have a bunch of different breeds of horses. I guess the name says it all. Of course, my inner horse girl that had like every breed, every color memorized back in the day was loving this, quizzing myself actually, one of the little arenas. And we, at this point, were going a little bit quickly through because it was about to downpour. We knew it was a storm, but it downpoured. So we didn't get to see everything, unfortunately, but kind of wrapped it up, headed over to the gift shop. They had all of the fun holiday things out, and somehow we literally made it out just in time. Like we were stepping into the car as it started downpouring. This was such a beautiful drive to go visit with some very old dear family friends and catch up, and Georgia was happy to see us when we got back.
Today is wedding day, so time to transform this.
I actually forgot to finish the transition, but you get the idea. Today is wedding day, in case you can't tell. Got some free hotel breakfast to fuel me for the day before starting in on my makeup. Gotta go a bit more full glam for wedding day. But honestly, I was not feeling the best this day, just like achy and exhausted. I think it was the rainy, cold weather. But my friend did some sort of magic because this day was absolutely beautiful. The sun came out, it was bright and sunny, the absolute perfect day. Didn't film the ceremony itself, but it was at this beautiful vineyard. And then this was us at the little cocktail hour, filling our charcuterie cups. And after socializing a bit and enjoying those, we went to explore a little bit of the vineyard. They had a couple grapes even left over that were really cute. And then just a bunch of little clips from here, there, and everywhere of the reception. Everything was beautiful. This is my good friend from high school's wedding. We're actually on the cheer team together in high school. And I don't get to see her very often now that we live so far apart, but it was great to go see her and celebrate her on such a special day. And as I had mentioned, her and my mom were close, you know, friends from high school. We grew up in the same hometown, kind of knew of each other forever since we were super, super little, but then we got close in high school. So my mom was invited to the wedding as well, so I didn't have to be alone, and I made her sing and dance. I was like, we don't know too many people here, so we are bringing the fun to this wedding. I don't know if they'll meet two people that are more offbeat and not super good dancers, but we had a blast. That's all that matters. And Georgia acted like she was the one who was at a wedding all day. Flash forward to the next day, we are headed to the Lexington Humane Society to visit some of their adoptable dogs and to be able to share and promote. Rescue and dog things never stop. And this first dog, oh my goodness, stole my heart. 72 pounds, I believe, but on these teeny tiny itty bitty little legs, she was just ridiculous. So many cuties. As always, it's kind of an emotional thing to go see all of these dogs in kennels, but hoping to make a difference. And I rewarded myself with some Fruit Riot in between before we visited some more dogs at their PetSmart location. This little cutie was named Cornbread, and he was a little tripod. And then for dinner, we went to this place that was super cute. They had just started to decorate for the holidays, which I love. Just the atmosphere was super fun. Of course, everything is like equestrian, horses, and caught up with old friends that live here. Didn't really film the actual meal, but just a couple bits and pieces. Got some southern staples, some corn pudding, some shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes. These were all some things that I loved when I lived in Alabama for college. And then we got snow, which was crazy. I guess that this is how I fell asleep doing some work. My mom got that funny video and woke up to some Georgia snuggles. You are just being so cute today. Look at that little face. So probably never getting out of bed because Georgia's not always a cuddler and I need to soak in all of this. Went to take some content outside and then had to come back in to recover. So cold. Getting ready for our last day here in Kentucky. The weather has been a little bit all over the place, from super warm and sunny to a bit of snow. It was actually snowing earlier today, so hoping that doesn't affect our flights at all, getting out and getting back home. In the Kentucky spirit, we had thought about going to ride some horses today, but it's absolutely freezing. It's unbearable to even go outside to take the dog out. So unfortunately, we won't get to that, but we'll just have to make another trip. I think we're gonna just go grab some lunch and then hit the road early to start heading towards the airport to return the car and maybe just hang out there for a bit so that we have that part out of the way with the weather. I think that is pretty good. After a quick dance break, got all packed up. Georgia was not the most help during this, but we headed off. Did definitely get caught in a bit of a snowstorm. Was not expecting that, but we made it out. Great trip overall. Heading to West Palm Beach to visit a friend for a little trip and thought I'd take you guys along. Day one, we headed over to the farmer's market. I absolutely love a good farmer's market. This one was massive. I feel like all of the farmer's markets around me are much smaller. Like there's a bunch of them, but they're pretty small. This one was huge. So many pups. So many. Of course, you know I was focused on that. We ended up going a little later in the afternoon, so didn't get to make it through the whole thing. There was so much to see. So I absolutely will just have to plan a trip back soon. And still just on our little dog montage session because there were so many dogs. This last little guy kind of reminded me of my previous foster dog, Wilbur. But I promise I also saw some other things that were not dogs. So much fresh produce. These pink pineapples really caught my eye. Me and my friend grabbed one, but unfortunately it wasn't ripe yet, so didn't get to try it. And then these bell peppers, stunning. Like, I wish I could look like that. Got some fresh juice. I got this passion fruit juice and my friend got mango lime and we shared them. Georgia being such a good girl, chilling out of the way. I don't remember what we were waiting for, but waiting to get something here. And of course she got so much love, which is always her favorite part. And then we spotted this super cute little booth where they did dog popsicles and dog sundaes. Had to get one for Georgia. This was salmon something with peanut butter drizzle and cute little, I think, coconut sprinkles on top. And even the stick was edible. It was a little sweet potato chew. Absolutely adorable, and we love the pink. Took Georgia a minute to figure out how she was supposed to eat this, that she couldn't chew it, but she cleared the bowl. And then next it was time for me to get a snack. There was quite a line, but it was well worth it for these fresh cider donuts that they literally pulled out of the fryer and packaged. The pastries were so difficult to pick between, but grabbed some muffins and cinnamon buns for breakfast the next morning. I don't personally eat meat, but my friend said that this salami booth is like the very best, and Georgia agreed with her. Georgia was like, this place looks like the spot. Give me some meat. She didn't have any. And some more gorgeous, fabulous produce. Everything's a little bit choppy right here of filming. I think I'm still figuring out the in-between of living in the moment, enjoying talking to people, but also getting some clips to have these fun memories and document for you guys. This booth had these quails, which I thought were super cute, and they made quail pet treats. I just wanted the quails as pets, honestly, but did end up getting a few things to try for Georgia. She was very interested with why there were birds on the table. and always love hanging with my girl. She was really good. It was super packed and busy, a lot of people, so I can get nervous sometimes about her getting stepped on or staying out of the way, but she did great. Of course, found my way to another dog booth, and Georgia was very patient while I did some holiday shopping for a friend. I feel like Georgia has so many bandanas and clothing and accessories, but I couldn't resist buying a few things for friends. And then we came to more of the clothing. There was just some vintage antiques. These little dog hats, oh my goodness, they were adorable. I didn't get a clip, but they came in such tiny sizes to also really big sizes. And unfortunately, we didn't get too much time in, but then they were starting to pack up for the day. So we walked over to grab a bite of lunch. We went to this restaurant called Avocado Grill and got to sit outside. Georgia got in a nap after her steps. The only part of the meal I got the video of was the guac, which was fabulous, but everything was really good. And then we headed over to hang out, enjoy the sunshine, watch the boats. Georgia really loved taking this all in, and we actually found a little bit of snow on the way back. These are my friends to Dachshund Mixes, Elvis and Priscilla. I'm obsessed with them. I've known Elvis for 6 years since he came home, was a little tiny baby, and they're just so happy and fun to play with. We cozied in for a little girl's movie night, and I didn't really catch the rest of the next day, but this is me taking the train to Miami. I had never taken the Bright Line before. It's like this newer train, and this is the premium lounge, which I had heard good things about. Good food, good snacks, drinks, all unlimited. I didn't get there super early to really enjoy it all, but just wanted to include some clips, and definitely will have to spend a little more time there next time. The process was super easy. They carried my luggage on for me. I got this little cold towel and some snacks. I forget what the choices were for the boxes, but I picked the hummus one, and then they gave me a little something extra as well. Towel smelled great. I did a little snack unboxing. I actually saved this for after the train. This was kind of my little dinner last night when I got back because I wasn't super hungry because we had just been out and gotten coffee and some snacks and things like that, but it was an adorable little box. Like I said, wish I could have taken advantage of all of the food and drinks. They had a little QR code that you can just scan and order from your phone, and they bring it right to your seat. It was pretty empty, big seats. Did some work on the way back. It was probably an hour and 20 minutes, so not bad at all, and it was great to be able to get some work done and then just Ubered back from there.